Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tiffany and I upload a new homemaking video every Sunday. Now, if you follow me over on Instagram or even on Facebook, you might have bumped into one of my posts from this past month about me not eating any sugar or having any alcohol or any carbs this past month. And it has been so challenging, but I'm really happy that I did it. Since I am at the end of the 30 days, I feel like it would be a nice thing to do to send out some of the tools that I use to get through the month and send them to anyone who is maybe thinking about just starting this journey, and then it'll be documented for myself in case I forget any of them and need to check it out when I do it again. Before we actually dive into the tips that I have for you to get through it, I just want to let you know why I decided to do it, because you can't do anything this challenging without having a good why to back you up. I really wanted to do this, and the first time I did it was a few years ago. I tried it and it was really transformative. It changed a lot about what I thought I could do, because I never believed that I could quit eating sugar, and I never believed I could get control of what I ate because I was such an impulsive eater. And I don't know how to do moderation sometimes. I started feeling really crappy toward the end of May. I started feeling really kind of sick all the time, and I was feeling really puffy, and I didn't really have a routine going. I just kind of was having a drink here and there, like on the weeknights, which I'm not usually someone who likes to do that very much. And I wanted to get myself back under control because I was just like so sloppy. So at the end of May, I decided to go ahead and take the month of June off from all of these indulgences and pull myself back together. One thing you want to do if you get ready to do something intense like this is pick a month that is more introverted or just a less social time. June is typically a more social time, but everything was pretty much still shut down, and I had a lot of work to do in June. So I didn't have a ton of social stuff going on, and the window just opened up and I jumped on it. Because it wasn't 4th of July, it wasn't my birthday, it wasn't my husband's birthday, it wasn't the Super Bowl. Just pick a time that is not your shining social season. The next thing I want to tell you after that, after you know that you're going to pick a more introverted time, you still may end up socializing. And if you do still end up socializing, understand it might be uncomfortable. Show up to places full, having already eaten. Show up with, a sparkling water. I have a whole list of vices and crutches that I leaned on, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But hang on, I'm going to get through this point first and talk about some other stuff. But anyway, go ahead and understand that people are going to think you're strange. They're going to be really uncomfortable because they're not going to know how to support you, or they're going to feel like they want to offer you stuff, and then they're going to feel guilty for offering you stuff, and it's just a whole mess. It's just going to be awkward, and you have to sit with that and be okay. Another thing you want to prepare for before you give up sugar is prepare to be moody, forgetful, disoriented, and fatigued. Those are the 4 things that I really experience when I am just coming off sugar. The first time I gave up sugar, it took me 3 weeks to come out of the fog of that. And the second time I got off sugar, it took me 7 days. And now this past time, it also took me about 7 days. So give yourself some grace. Another thing you need to do to prepare yourself for this crazy hard endeavor is put hobbies and time-sucking things in place. I bought fabric for a bunch of creative projects because I know that if I go down to my sewing room, I can forget about everything and just like focus in on that and days disappear. I could probably go down there for a week and not come up for air. That if you like puzzles, if you like to garden, it would be a good time to be ambitious with your garden and really spend some time out there, or anything you're interested in. Get a bunch of good books and prepare yourself with distractions. Or a crutch, which is the next thing I'm going to tell you about. I had a few crutches during this process. This time, I allowed myself to have the orange vanilla polar sparkling water. It doesn't have any calories, but the flavor is really good and it gives me something bubbly. My other crutch is pork rinds and sour cream and onion dip, which has 0 carbs, the hell of a good dip. In Massachusetts, I don't know if they sell that nationwide, but they have a sour cream and onion dip that doesn't have any carbs and it doesn't have any sugar, and neither do pork rinds. So it satisfies that crunch and that dip, and if you're at a party, you can bring that and have that for yourself, so that you have kind of a party snack that you can indulge in with people. It makes you feel a little bit less like an alien, for sure. Oh, I have one more. Rebel ice cream. Rebel ice cream is the most amazing thing I have ever tried. I like the mint chocolate chip the best. It's the best flavor. And I'll just post a picture of it here. But you want to try it if you're starting a keto diet, actually, which I was in ketosis probably the whole time. And I try to get there as often as I can. But that's because that's what works for me, and it gets my mind clear and sharp. And I really love that. So that's why I didn't have any carbs. The next thing I want to tell you is if you don't feel like working out, don't worry about it. Your body's probably needs some rest. If you're really fatigued and you're really tired, take a nap instead. You're going to be going through some changes physically. And if you really don't feel like working out, don't make yourself do it. You're already doing something hard enough. I still do work out sometimes because a lot of times I know that I'll feel better if I get some sweat going and like move everything around in my body. But other times I feel just really tired and like the right thing to do is rest. So it's a good idea to honor that. Next thing I'm going to tell you is do not look in the mirror expecting to see a different person every day. You're going to look the same the whole way through. All 30 days, because even if you are changing physically, it's going to happen very gradually. If you really want to see results, take a picture of yourself on day 1 and take a picture of yourself on day 30 and see if anything has changed. I don't notice much. I feel like I just look the same all the time. I feel like I don't really lose weight. But I do kind of tighten up and firm up. I know that I had a little double chin sneaking in here and it decided to go away, which is nice. I appreciate that. And I know that my stomach doesn't feel like it's poking out all the time, which is great because I was feeling kind of like I had a stomach ache all the time before I did this. In May, I was really just feeling kind of sick and icky all the time. So that's another big motivator for me. I don't like feeling bad, and I knew I could do something about it, so I did. I just have a few more things I want to tell you before we wrap up this video. And one of those is if you are in the middle of your month of no sugar and you just start searching around for something to make you feel better or something to satisfy that craving and you start shopping, cut it out. Do not go shopping and spend all your money trying to avoid eating, because that is something that I turn to. So be aware that your other little devils are going to come out to play and they're going to try and sabotage you in some other way. But don't let that happen. Be aware. Watch your behavior and don't slide down that rabbit hole. The next thing I want to tell you is it's okay to pout and complain to yourself about how it's hard. Limit the amount you complain to other people, but you're doing something hard and you're going to want to complain about it, and it's fine. It's fine. You can do that. I will not fault you for pouting about how difficult it is. I have one more thing that I want to tell you about this month, and that is it will be worth it. Once you break your sugar craving, you're not going to want it as much. And once you do it one time, once you prove to yourself you did it one time for 30 days, you know that you can do it again for another 30 days. So I am also excited to reset into a healthier kind of rhythm of life. And for me, that tends to be 5 days of really good behavior, not eating any carbs. I don't eat, um, I don't have cocktails for 5 days of the week. And then 2 days I'm on and I can cheat and have a little bit of fun. And I try not to overdo it, but definitely I live my life. I really hope that by sharing this experience that I had, you will be inspired to take some positive action for your own health and getting your own body where you want it to be and feeling good and sharp and light and free. Go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my homemaking videos. And I will see you next Sunday, friends. Bye. Love you.